Welcome back to the Chess Brewer. Let's crack open game 4 here and see what went on. Before we go through the moves here, let's take a look at our stats, see if anything changes, and I believe it does. Yeah, Zukertort, 98.6 accuracy there. So he'll definitely maintain and increase the highest accuracy thus far in the World Championship. Steinitz, 93.9. Game ratings, Zukertort, 2550. I believe that's also going to be our highest rated game rating yet. Steinitz with 2,500. So even with the massive blunder, Steinitz still played a 2,500 rated game with 93.9% accuracy. So, all right, let's go through this here. Let's see what we get here. So we had the Rui, we had the first Berlin, and then we have the Rio Gambit accepted. And the crazy thing about this Rio Gambit accepted is in our game, Steinitz plays Rook E1. And we won't see this move again until Carlsen Anand, which is 117 years, somewhere around there. So that's just absolutely insane. Now, we will see if we go to chessworldchampionshipdata.com real quick. Let's just pull that up. Yeah, here we go. So if we go back a few moves here and just hit the Berlin, right? Let's say black plays here. We have 46 games in this position. Zukertort, obviously the first. We got Shagorin playing it. We've got Lasker. And we've got a bunch of other people here, all the way up to what will be Anand here. But now, if we go into these, the Rio Gambit and the acceptance of it, the mainline move here, we see there's 23 games in this position. The mainline move here, I believe, is D4. Yeah, I think that was the most popular. Yeah, there's 14 games. You can see Lasker played that a bunch. Korchnoi, Kramnik, Topalov, Magnus, Anand. And then the real kicker, though, to me is just we go from this position, which has Lasker, Korchnoi, Kramnik, Zukertort, and just simply this move. We see it obviously a bunch in this World Championship, but then, yeah, we jump from 1886 to 2013. I just thought that was a wild aside and wanted you to see that. Let's get back to the game here. So all book here. Yeah, just tons of book there. Okay. Let's see where these inaccuracies pop up. There's probably not going to be many with the accuracies that both of these players played at. Obviously, there's going to be the blunder from Steinitz. Good block. Yeah, a lot of best moves here. So Steinitz, like, just pouring it on here and somehow just... This is twice now he's blundered. And with Zukertort having a 2-1 lead and all the momentum, this is just gotta be a killer right here. Zukertort now up 3-1 after this game. First to 10 wins, becomes the champion. Okay, we get our... So all the way down to what? Move 32 here before we get an inaccuracy. So very high level game here. Let's see what the best move was here. It was Queen D2. Okay, maintaining a very slight advantage. Very slight advantage. I guess what I see at first glance is this is now threatening. Obviously, this knight has this going on. Maybe at some point there's sack ideas here. Can probably trade this bishop off pretty cleanly. Yeah, and then without the dark square control, then I suppose at some point Steinitz could have a larger advantage there. Yeah, there's the blunder. I mean, obviously, if you're watching the game and saw the status bar and don't know this game real quick, you've got Steinitz was looking at this here, this X-ray of the queens, and I don't know how a player of his caliber does this, but he thought he had a free pawn here. But what he missed was he can't he can't recapture the queen because he's got a back rank mate here. So after this, if if queen had taken, then that's the ball game right there. So just a huge miss. Yeah. Steinitz has to recapture, and then with the knight recapturing, now the knight covers the queen, so none of this works. So Steinitz gives it one go here, and then as soon as Zukertort just puts the knight back, Steinitz gives it up. Yeah, so a wild game 4. Crazy blunder to see. And other than that, a very solid game, as the stats say. And looking forward to game 5. Zukertort up 3-1. They're going to play in New York City until one player reaches 4 wins. Could that be game 5? Like and subscribe for another round to find out. Cheers.